Um, yeah, the coronavirus. There's one for you. I haven't been keeping up, tell you the truth. I kind of keep up. I'll tune in occasionally to local news or something like that. I'll just let, the official news service tell me what they want to tell me. And I don't really want to know much more than that. I I got enough to worry about in my life, and I don't feel worried about a flu virus. It's not because I feel like I'm indomitable against flus. I could get killed by an ordinary flu, and I take my flu shots. And because of that, I take my ordinary precautions in general. I use my elbows and the backs of my hands to operate buttons and doors when I can. I will also put the cuff or sleeve of my hand, put my cuff up in between my hand and what I'm doing. So I avoid contact with surfaces other people have touched. That's one of the things I'll do. Um, when I'm out, I avoid touching anywhere here while I'm out. In case I have got something on my hands, I'm not going to immediately transfer it to the most important spot on my body for a virus to invade. So I do those things. I have extensive personal knowledge of healing herbs and medicines in general. I've done a lot of research. I'm able to read doctor speak. The stuff in the medical journals makes sense to me. I can understand it. I can understand the biology terms. I've got science education background. I have a lot of useful background for this kind of a situation. I've often thought of myself as an unofficial healer, as a healer on a slow level. I don't want to do the hard stuff. I think that medicine should be brought in on stuff that's life threatening or immediately dangerous. But if you've got a cold, you've got a flu, you've got a variety of things that I can address personally myself through my household pharmacopoeia is what I'm trying to say, and that includes flu. Flu is best handled early with lots of chicken soup and heat and a hot bath and alcohol if you're into that. But you got to get really, really drunk. You got to verge on alcohol poisoning to kill the virus. So that's a really dangerous one. That's for your hardline drinkers to work with. When you know what your capacities are like because you do it often, then you can do that. Chicken soup never hurt anybody and definitely helps. And the thing about chicken soup is that it's got a lot of cartilage in it, and usually it's got garlic in it, and it should at any rate, because these are two things that help your bone marrow do its job of putting out immune cells. So we're talking now about nutrition. There are also herbs I know of, things that help reduce fever, things that help reduce inflammation, things that help reduce muscle spasms, things that help expectorate. And then there's the whole pharmacopoeia of cough medicines and asthma and pain medication you can get at the drugstore. All of this stuff is currently here in the house and is kept on hand for all manner of things. It's part of my household first aid. I'm sure you must have some. Now, if your household first aid consists of a tube of cream, ointment, disinfecting ointment, and a box of Band-Aids, then yeah, you need to get out there and get prepared because you are not ready. You shouldn't be waiting until someone's sick before you bring some cough syrup in the house, for example. Although the cough syrup you choose, think about it long and hard. Is it something you want to have with children around? That sort of thing. But there are other ways to do, like elderberry syrup. I would suggest that you pop down to the local hippie herbal naturopath place and have a look at some of the pharmacopoeia staples that they offer for sale that might be more safe around your children than some of the staples that a person with no children might happily leave just sitting in the medicine cabinet. Which is to say, I don't think the Robitussin should be within reach of the children. And when you have children, of course, your needs increase. You need to know how to bring down a fever, how to tell if a kid has a fever. You need to know the difference between a dry cough and a wet cough and a serious cough and a cleaning cough, you need to do a lot more study. A lot of people get that study as part of babysitting and being raised, but like I got a lot of it, believe it or not. Anna Green Gables taught me some of it. That was one of my sources of learning. I kid you not. That thing is a tome of useful information, and that's one of the sources for that kind of learning is some of the old-time stories where it was taken for granted and where a character's illness becomes a plot point and the recuperation of said ill character becomes one of the progression vehicles of the story. Then you get to learn a lot about how they used to heal in the old days. And it did involve a lot of chicken broth and alcohol. I kid you not. So I'm not horribly concerned. I'm both prepared to avoid getting the virus and prepared to nurse someone, including myself, through the virus. And good enough as far as I'm concerned, really. I'm not interested in being scared. I'm concerned and worried about how many people might die, but not more concerned than I am about the way people drive on the freeway. I think you're losing a lot more people per day to using your cell phone in the car than to all of the flus in the world combined, frankly. I think distracted driving kills a lot more people than disease of any kind. I don't know my stats. You go ahead and find them. I really don't care. My point is, there are far more risky things going on all around us all the time, and we're not afraid of them. Why not? Some of them, our fear is all we need to stop doing the stupid things that cause us to create that statistic in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm getting into town, so I'll have to put the phone down. Don't do it. Why are you worried about the coronavirus? You're going to run yourself off the road probably before you get a deadly flu. And the folks who do have compromised health, for the most part, I'm not including children, and I'm not including stubborn old people that have been healthy up until now. But there is a large range of people who know they're immune compromised. They know because their doctors have told them. They know because they've had the history. They know because they know themselves. These people already take precautions. They don't want any kind of flu. Spanish, COVID-19, bird, SARS. There's been a million of them. Pandemic's going to come. Pandemic's going to go. The Black Plague might even make a recovery. We don't know. And it's no reason to get scared. Always be prepared. And then when this stuff is going on, you could be like, no, I'm not becoming super consumer for you. No, you haven't fooled me into buying way more crap than I need to protect myself against a danger that's probably not even coming. You will save a lot of money